John and Kendra joining us this morning, our resident parenting experts. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, the holidays are just around the corner, so we have a little holiday advice for you, right? All right, let's take a look at that question. With all the holiday parties coming up, how can I keep my kids from imploding after late hours and too many desserts? There you go.
Well, that is right around the corner. And I think that it's wonderful that we're talking about this today because one of the keys is to be proactive. In a perfect world, all of parents would be proactive, and it's not a perfect world.
Well, that's true.
And looking ahead, you know, especially looking ahead with, let's say, the late hours. That's true. There are several options that these parents can consider. Number one, they can maybe hire a sitter and not even take their children. That's a possibility. Number two, and this one always killed me when we had to choose this one, they can leave the party early.
No!
I know, that didn't bother John as much as it bothered me, but that's another possibility. Or, and I know when John was a child, I've heard these stories, that they would have a holiday party and his parents would put them to bed at people's homes where they were visiting, let them know, and then when it was time to go, wrap them up in a blanket and take them home. So that's a possibility too.
Right, and the question said too many desserts. Well, that's one of the things with parents. Don't allow your kids to have too many desserts. I mean, and that's, you know, that easily said, but you keep an eye on it. I mean, you don't, you know, as you go to a party, you still have to be the parent. You still have to, you know, you can't just totally as parents socialize. And so you don't want your kids just to be sitting at the cookie table all night eating cookies or candy or whatever. You do definitely want to monitor that. And another idea that when Kendra was talking about too late nights, one of the things that we did was, Kendra's more of a social person than I am, and so we would talk about it before, and sometimes she would stay at the party and socialize, and I would bring the kids home and put them to bed. And so with that being said, whether it's food or whether it's the late nights, those kind of things, mom and dad get on the same page before this ever starts. Talk about it so you're working together. A lot of things going on, and mom and dad have a tendency to get upset with one another. Try not to do that. Like Kendra said, be proactive so that at least you're working together, and then you can help the kids not have, you know, the upset in the routine.
You know, another thing is to communicate with your kids. Don't wait until you get to the party and say, now, oh, it's 8:05. You have to go lie down now. What? Everybody, before you ever get there, you let them know, hey, here's what's going to happen. We're going to stay so long, or you're going to lie down in Grandma and Grandpa's bed there, whatever it is. And as far as the food, true story, I had a cousin who imploded, I believe that was in the question, more than one Christmas because all she ate off the buffet table was black olives.
Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine.
Why would you choose that? I don't know.
Well, as someone who loves black olives, I could probably.
You would think after the first year they might have kept an eye on her, but after 2 years they did.
Oh, good. Well, learned your lesson there.
That's
so
right.
It sounds like the key is to be prepared at this
Absolutely,
point.
absolutely. And we think sometimes we're saving time by not getting prepared, by not communicating with one another.
And holidays is not the time not to be the parent. We still have to be the parent. You still have to keep an eye on things.
Yep. All right, great advice as always. Thanks so much. And if you have a question for the Smileys, you can give them or send your question over to their website, parentinglikeapro.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.